Yo, welcome back. We are in probability lesson 13. What makes a good sample? Warm up questions are 13.1 number talk, division by powers of 10. So we have find the value of each quotient mentally. All right, so 34,000 divided by 10. We're going to move the decimal, let me say, one place. Okay. All right. And that is going to give us 3,400. All right. So you have 2 zeros. So we'll be moving the decimal two places. All right. So that is going to give us a 3.4. Move the decimal two places right here, like that. And then over here, we're going to move it one place. If that's not clear enough, so that's 3.4. All right. Same thing here. One place, that's going to give us a 3.4 as well. And if we move it two places, that is going to give us a 1, 2, and we annex the 0. So that's going to give us a point. And we want to 0.034. And we want to make sure that we annex the 0 and put another 0 in front like that, so it's clear. You don't want to start a number with a decimal. You want to add the 0 in front of the decimal, so it's clear that that is a decimal, not like a multiplication symbol. All right. Let's go ahead, take a minute and put that in your notes. All right, so we're going on to the next section, and basically 13.2, selling paintings. Your teacher will assign you to work with either means or medians. So that means as you solve questions 1 with their ABC, question 2, question 3, you're either going to solve for the median or you're going to solve for the means. All right, so let's go ahead and basically I'll do that in class. Probably half the room do medians and the other half do means, or I'll indicate the sections. All right. So hopefully you remember, or a reminder, that the mean equals the average. Okay, so that means you add up everything and divide. Okay, and then the median is when you put all the numbers in order, and it's the middle number. So mean is the average. Let's write this up here. Mean is the average. Mean equals average for rich. And median is middle. Okay. Equals middle. Let's go ahead and work on that, depending on what group you're in. All right, so let's go over these. So the mean for the first one is 500, not 500, but 50 plus 350. Okay, so that's 400 divided by 2. That's going to give us 200. Okay, so to find the median, when you put these in order, 50 and 350, there is no middle number. Okay, so basically you have to add these together and divide by 2, which is basically in this case the same as the average, which is going to equal 200. So they're both 200. All right. All right, let's keep it moving. So basically, okay. Let's go here. Wow. All right, so the means are going to be on this side, and the average, the medians are going to be on this side. Okay, the medians. All right, so over here, to find the mean or the average, we're going to do 250 plus 400 plus 1200. And that is going to give us 1850 which we're going to divide by 3. All right. Clear 1850 divided by 3 is going to give us 1850 divided by 3 equals approximately 616. Okay, so that is approximately 616. Okay, and we can round that up to 617. All right, and the median is going to be 400. We put, okay, because if we put these in numerical order, it's already in numerical order, and the median is going to be 400. 400 is the median. All right, so over here, we're going to do the mean or the average. We add up the 410 plus 400 plus 375. Okay. It's going to be 1,185 divided by 3. Clear 410 plus 400 plus 375 equals, divided by 3 is 395. Okay, so that is going to equal 395. 395. All right, and then if we put these in order, we have 375, then we have 400 and 410. So again, 400 is going to be the median. All right. All right, let's keep it moving. I'm going to delete this so we can move down. All right. So for number 2, here are the selling prices of 10 of her paintings. Calculate the measures of centers you assign. Okay, so probably when we get in class, we'll be doing, everybody will be doing them together. We'll see. All right, so anyway, to find the average, you add all of these up and then divide by, well, let's find the mean first. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here. So these are our two middle numbers right here. So we're gonna have to find an average of these for our median. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so let's do 280 plus 350 divided by 2. And that is going to give us what? 280 and 350 divided by 2. Okay. Clear. 350 plus 250 divided by 2 equals, clear, that was supposed to be 280 plus 350 equals, divided by 2 equals 315 is our median. $315 is our median. Then we're going to have to find the average. All right, make sure we get all these numbers here. So we start with 1200 plus 410 plus 400 plus 375 plus 350 plus 280 plus 275 plus 250 plus 200 plus another 50 equals 3,790. I'm gonna do it again, double check. So we had a 1200 right there. 1200 plus 410 plus 400 plus 375 plus 350 plus 280 plus 275 plus 250 plus 200 plus 50 equals 3,790 divided by 10. $379. Okay. 3,790 divided by 10 equals 379. All right. All right. So this is kind of throwing me off here. Just divide by 2. Let me Let me edit this a little bit because we added that together. We got 630. And then we divided that by 2 and got 315. All right. 315 over here for the median and 379 for the average. Compare your answer with your partner. Were the measures of centers for any of the samples close to the same measures of centers for the population? Okay, so they want you to compare your answers. All right. Take a moment to do that. All right, so assuming we discussed that in class, I'm just going to say something and then you can just write it in your notes in your own words. So basically, I would say that the median is more stable, meaning it's not going to get pulled. Okay, and by that, for example, this last example has a really high number. It's an outlier. So this is called an outlier. Outlier. An outlier is a really high or really low number. Okay. And what happens is if you have an outlier in your sample, then the average can get pulled high or pulled low depending on your outlier. That is less likely to happen with the median. So that's why I say the median is more stable. All right. So you can put that in your own words for number 3 in your notes. All right. Then we'll move on to the next question. All right, let's keep it moving. Next section. All right, so it says the fish sampling the fish market. The price per pound of catfish at a fish market was recorded for 100 weeks. Here are dot plots showing the population and 3 different samples from the population. What do we notice? What do you wonder? Okay, population. All right, so dollars per pound of catfish, the population. Okay, so this is how many, showing the population of 3 different samples from that population. All right, so they got high numbers, they got low numbers, and you can kind of see the spread goes from 1.6 to 2.8. All right, so you take that into account. Probably want to bring this down some. And they give you 3 samples. And if the goal is to have the same representation of the population, which of the samples would work best, which would not work so well, explain your reasoning. So go ahead, take a moment to do that. All right, so in this section, I'm going to give you some notes and then you can put it into your own words in your workbook. All right, so what you're looking for, a good sample has the same shape, center, and spread as the whole population. Okay, so it basically, the sample should represent or look like the population. Okay, so if we look at sample number 2, sample number 2 does a good job of representing the high values. Okay, and I would say sample 3 does a good job of representing the low values. Okay, but sample 1 probably is the best at representing both the low and the high and the spread. As you can see, it kind of goes from 1.16 to 2.8, whereas sample 2 only goes from 1.6 to 2. Okay, so that's another reason why sample 2 wouldn't be a good choice. And sample 3 is again goes from, the spread is not as representative as the population. So put that in your own words. I'll say it again. A good sample has the same shape, center, and spread as the population. That's the simplest way I could put that. All right, so go ahead and put that in your notes. We'll keep it moving. We will try to keep it. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's go on to the next section. When you do a statistical study, go ahead and read that real quick to yourself. Then we're going to do this next section. All right, so they're trying to tell you to be careful with samples. Okay, so you notice that the population graphs are blank. Okay, so that's on purpose. In real life, you almost never get to see the whole population. All right, so we don't have a single point from everyone. Okay, so we use samples, and the rule says that a good sample has the same shape, center, and spread as the whole population. So look at these different auditor samples. Okay, so basically they all have strengths and weaknesses. Okay, you know. So I think the question is, which one is probably the best one to use? I think that's what the question is. Let me double check. What does it say? An online shopping company tracks how many items they sell in different categories during the month of the year. 3 different auditors take samples of the data, use the sample to draw plots on what the population might look like for the furniture and electronics. Okay, so you do fill out the population. Okay, so that's easy. You know what to do, so take a moment to do that and keep it moving. All right, so basically the main point of this lesson is that don't just trust one sample. Look at multiple samples, make sure they represent the shape, the center, and the spread. So let's make sure all right, the shape, make sure they have the shape, the center, and the spread. Okay, so I mean, it's more than one way. If we wanted to draw this on here, we could represent the spread from the first sample. We could do the shape. The center is like this, probably from the second sample, and then we could also do the shape. Okay, which is represented in the third sample in general. All right, so there you have it. If you got any questions, ask me in class. Other than that, peace.